Hey, Coach, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. We talked to Maffa yesterday. He said he's never been to Boston. Most of your guys have never played at BC. Do you get the sense that the team is excited about playing in a new setting for the first time?
Yeah, I think so. I think Xavier Thomas and BT are the only two guys that have been up there. Just kind of, all the weird circumstances. But yeah, they're all excited. I mean, this is it's a great city. It'll be a new experience for a lot of these guys, and cooler weather and all that stuff. So beautiful night in Boston Saturday night.
Coach, I'm not gonna ask you about Xavier or Sheridan, but do you have an update on Mickens at all?
No, just still, evaluating everybody, and we'll put out that available list on Saturday, and we'll see who travels up to Boston.
Well, speaking of the secondary, we spoke with T-Bone Tyler Venables on Monday. He was special teams player of the game, really versatile guy. Would you feel comfortable playing him at strong safety if you needed to?
Man, we play T-Bone anywhere. He's a baller. I mean, he knows a lot of positions, and we got a ton of confidence in him. I mean, he's just a natural, really good football player, and does a great job on special teams as well. So we trust him pretty much anywhere.
Hey, Coach, it's David Hood with TigerNet. You mentioned this week that the game against NC State was won in practice on Wednesday of last week. How have you seen the guys respond after such a great environment and a big game, kind of coming back in?
Well, it's been great. I mean, I think the best thing is, they saw the results of practicing the right way, and they practiced really well last week, and I think it's carried over right into this week. We've had an excellent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Guys are really got a good urgency to them, and they've been very businesslike, and that's what you want to see. That's what it takes. I mean, this is, as I say all the time, this is, you don't just show up on game day and get ready to play. This is when you win games, is having the right mindset, the right focus, the right mentality when you walk out on the practice field, because you got to get the details down. The game's about details. It's, as I said, about precision in what you do, and for us to get better, that's what's got to happen for us. So I think they grew up last week in certain areas. We've got a bunch of these guys that know how to practice, and they've been practicing the right way from day one. But we just got some young guys, some immature guys, some guys that can easily get distracted, and all of a sudden they think there's an easier way, and there's not. So you can tell them. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. You can tell them, but that was probably, like I said, the best part of the Wake Forest game is sometimes you got to lose a game, but we didn't lose the game. But some of these guys, you tell them that stove is hot, and they touch it anyway. And so fortunate that we were able to learn from that, through a win. And I thought it was a big win last week. And again, just think their attention to details in some areas has really improved these last couple of weeks of practice.
Dabo, this is Pete at AP. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Pete.
Go ahead, man. Oh, I was going to say, Dabo, it's Pete at AP. I've got to ask, I'm sure you're aware of the suit against Fred and Malcolm. I know it was a situation that happened last year. Does this change their status at all?
No. I mean, I think everybody knew this was coming. It's a civil suit, and that stuff will play out. And but certainly, we all know there's consequences. And even though it was a year ago, and they've had a lot of things internally and all that stuff, that's something, as I said, there's going to be consequences for that for a long time. That's life. So, but it doesn't change anything as far as their status of the team.
Mentally, you think they're okay?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's a very sad situation. Somebody almost lost their life. They're really fortunate that the lady involved, survived, but she's got a lot of challenges. And so again, don't think anybody's surprised that, now this will play out on the civil side as well.
Dabo, were you aware of Malcolm's involvement in the accusations against him before today?
We've known the details since it happened.
Any other questions for Coach?
Yeah,
Coach.
Dabo, go ahead, Trevor.
Okay, thanks, Pete. Coach, Zay Flowers had 5 catches for 70 yards against you last year, but you kept him out of the end zone. What's the key to keeping him somewhat in check?
Just got to know where he is every snap. You cannot let your guard down because they move him everywhere. I mean, he is a great player, an elite player, and they're not going to. I mean, whether or not they're successful or not, they're going to try to get it to him 10 or 15 times for sure. They're not going to come out of the game and not get their best player the ball or try to get him the ball as many times as possible. So you just have to know where he is, and you got to execute the call and have high alert on number 4 at all times.
Dabo, it's Pete again. This time of year when coaches get fired, you're the poster boy for interims who've done great. And what did you have to do in that situation, thinking back to 2008, to really kind of stabilize things and get the guys thinking, hey, this isn't done. We've got a lot more to play for.
Well, I think the first thing is you have to, you have to have a vision for what you want, and you got to be able to create that vision for them, and you got to, be able to get them to look forward and not be burdened what's behind. You got to get them to understand that, hey, we're going to be defined by how we finish, and if we finish well, that's what we can remember. And for the guys that, obviously nobody came there for you to be their head coach, but for the guys that are seniors and things like that, I mean, you have to connect with the team. And you've got to create some enthusiasm. You've got to create some belief. You got to obviously, put a good plan together. For me, created a leadership group right out of the gate, and just you got to get them invested, and you got to get them again. You got to lay out the vision for them and create a vision, that they can see, and then you go to work, and you got to have some fun with them. I mean, it's a tough situation when you're in that. Certainly, just try to make the best of it that you can, but most of all, you got to win. So you got to find a way to win some games, because ultimately that's what ultimately creates the belief. In this particular game right here, when you only get one first win, and when we won this game, it kind of helped us take that next step of really getting these guys to have some fun. The fun's in the winning, and to really buy into what we were trying to do those last several weeks. And I guess we went 4-1 down the stretch to finish the regular season.
Yeah, that tie, I guess, in that Georgia Tech game, when you kind of got people fired up about Tiger Walk, that must have been a way for the players to kind of connect with fans and see that, hey, there were a lot of people behind them.
Well, I think that's the next thing. The other thing is, obviously, when you have a situation like this, there's a lot of negativity and there's a lot of division. And so, for me, I was very fortunate. Obviously, I've been here for 5.5 years. And so I knew the players. I had good relationships with players, but I think you got to try to bring people together. You have to try to create some strength in numbers, if you will, some synergy, with your fans, your student body, and all of that. And so, we did a lot of things over that 7-week period to just try to bring people together and get everybody pulling in the same direction again. That's when Tiger Walk came about. We really worked hard to connect with our students, and we just changed lots of our process as far as how we practiced and how we traveled, just some of our routines. I personally started, we changed what we did on Friday nights all the way our game prep. So, I mean, I just think that, there's a lot of things, but, you got to get them to believe, you got to have vision, you got to unite people, you got to try to get rid of the negativity and focus on what you control, have some fun with them, and then you got to find a way to win.
Yeah.
That's the key.
I guess it worked.
Anybody else for Coach?
Yeah, but
Coaches
with a player like Zay, how do you kind of balance saying, hey, I trust my guys and I think they can go out there and win their matchups, but also saying, hey, we need to know where this guy is and kind of maybe changing things up a little bit when you have a player as good as him.
That's just, that's game plan stuff. Every week you put a game plan together to, attack their strengths. And so, you just have to know where he's at, because again, they'll put him everywhere, and then you have to make the call and adjust and apply what we've done all week to, what you see on the field.
Coach, Boston College has had some significant injuries on the offensive line. They six most sacks in the country. How important will it be to get after Jurkovec and make him uncomfortable in the pocket?
That's important every week. You don't want to ever let a quarterback, get comfortable, and that's what happened at Wake Forest. You let a really good player, get comfortable and get in a rhythm, then you're on your heels. And so that's important every single week. And you've got another great quarterback this week in Jurkovec, another guy that I think will play at the next level. So you got to find a way to affect him for sure.
Yeah, but with Malcolm, I know you said that you've been aware of these allegations against him for a while. Did he have some of the same stuff as far as internal punishment that Fred had at the time?
Yeah, all that stuff's been dealt with, guys internally, and obviously Fred has had a lot of public consequences as well. But that's from a legal standpoint and a team standpoint. All that is behind us. This is a civil situation that they're gonna have to deal with. It's a personal thing they have to deal with, and it's again consequences for actions and decisions.
Anybody else for Coach?
Coach, I know you're a baseball fan. What do you think about Aaron Judge breaking the 61-year AL home run record last night?
Yeah, it's amazing. I've never met him, obviously, but he's something special. To watch that guy get in the, he's like a modern day Babe Ruth, right? You see that big dude get in that box. He just it doesn't look fair. He just looks like every time he swings the bat, it's going to the upper deck. What an unbelievable accomplishment. Just kind of caught up, like everybody these last couple of weeks here, but it's really special, unbelievable achievement that you can live a lifetime and not see. So pretty cool to be able to witness something like that, in real time.
And speaking of baseball, the Tigers started fall practice this week. How well have you gotten to know Coach Bakich over the last few months?
Yeah, not as well as I'd like. We've been around each other at a few functions and things like that, but obviously we started camp back in August, so we've been grinding through that, ever since. But I look forward to getting to know him better, and look forward to getting to know his family better, and also watching him play. I'm excited about that, and a lot of enthusiasm around Clemson baseball.